It's your daily tea. It's your daily tea. It's your daily tea with B. It's been so long since I've done a daily tea. Welcome to your daily prediction that I do not do every day. I think the last one I did was, what's today? I think I did it on Monday. So when I first started Daily Tea with B, I was doing it every day, but then I started doing my human design consultations and I didn't have time to do it every day anymore. So I try to do it at least 2 to 3 times a week now, like the beginning, middle, and end, or the beginning and the weekend reading. So I am going to try to keep up with it as I'm almost finished with the July monthlies and then some other human design stuff that I want to work on. So yeah, shout out to my human design Facebook group. The link is in the description box to join the group. Shout out to my Patreon. I am going to do on Patreon, I'm going to record it today and it should be up by tonight or tomorrow. I'm recording how to read the basics of your human design chart, and I took a few different people with different types in my Patreon, and I'll show their charts as examples of like what I would look for, how I do my consultations, or if you want to do your own human design readings, what that could look like, okay? It was a little crooked. So, yeah, that's all I have to announce. So join the Facebook group, join the Patreon for more human design stuff. But yeah, guys, so this is the weekend read, and it is human design messages based. If you do not know your human design type, click the description box link to go to the link to get your chart. And I think that's it. So we're going to get started here. Let's see what the main themes are for you based on your human design type and what you need to do according to your strategy and authority, how to follow it, or, whatever comes up. I think I'm going to start with manifestors. I'm going to start with manifestors today. All right. So if you are a manifestor, this is for the weekend and this can cover Monday as well. What does manifestors need to be aware of for the weekend? Refund. Some of you are going to get some money back for something this weekend. Job loss or decrease. You're going to get money back for something that you've lost with a job. You have they won't reach out. And then you have recognition. So it seems like this weekend for you manifestors is a lot about money. Okay, look at you. You got new job or increase, and then you have unrequited or unbalanced. All right. So the interesting thing about being a manifestor, everybody wants to be a manifestor when they first read about human design, but people don't always know how difficult it is to actually be a manifestor, because if you're a manifestor, you have to be very, very proactive in your life. You have to be very proactive in creating the life you want, creating the relationships you want, the jobs you want. There's a lot of work on your behalf. So the other types look at it as like, oh, manifestors get to do whatever they want, but they are having to do everything, with the other types, we do have to wait for a lot of life to bring us what we're supposed to act upon. So they both have pros and cons. Nothing is better or worse. It's just a matter of using the energy that exists within you. So for you manifestors, a lot of you are going through a job loss or decrease. Maybe you're thinking about leaving a job right now and you're wondering, should you leave? Should you start looking for something else? And you could find fairly quickly that you actually get something new, or you hear about a new job and this gives you ammo to go ahead and quit the job you already have. But a lot of you are getting a refund check this weekend, or you're getting some type of reimbursement for a job that you lost, money that you've lost, or something that has decreased for you. So if something does decrease or it has been decreasing, do not worry, because you are going to get an increase, all right, in the near future, if not this weekend, as well as get recognition for things that you have been working on, or something that you are putting out. So that's also something that you can look forward to. Now you have unrequited or unbalanced, and you have they won't reach out. So this is a good time to also analyze your relationships this weekend and look at where you may have to initiate something. You may have to initiate a conversation with someone if you do want the relationship to become balanced. And as a manifestor, it can be a little disheartening to always feel like, well, I always have to reach out, or I always have to initiate or do XYZ. But that's kind of where your strategy of informing comes into play, because sometimes with manifestors energies, we can't read it. We don't understand what all you're thinking. So what you can probably do is, like, if you are going to initiate a conversation with somebody, you can inform them that, hey, I really do like when you reach out to me more often, or I like when you initiate conversations, dates, things like that, especially if you're dealing with like a projector type of energy, because they don't always know if they have to wait for an invitation. So if you tell somebody, hey, we haven't been talking in a while, I appreciate it if you tell me where we stand, or if I should stop talking to you, or if, that is where the little ways of informing go a long way. Because you kind of have to be the bigger person, in the sense of like telling other people what you like, what you don't like that they're doing, what you want them to do more of, where you stand, getting clarity on that. So if you are a manifester this weekend, definitely look at your relationships where they've been unrequited or unbalanced, and call it out. Inform somebody, hey, I noticed that I'm always reaching out to you first. Why is that? And sometimes that can be very unsettling for people that are intimidated by boundaries, by conflict. And so if you get in this habit of showing yourself as a certain way from the beginning, like informing others, like, this is something that I don't like, or this is something that I will call out, or I don't like conflict, or whatever, it will help you weed out the people that are not able to handle direct communication, or they're not mature enough to be on the level to give you a emotionally mature or direct answer about these questions, like, why are you ghosting me? Why are you being distant? So this is a good weekend to address these issues and inform somebody that you don't like what they're doing, or you want them to do something else. Okay? Manifestors, very clear message there. Now let's talk about reflectors. What does reflectors need to know for the weekend and going into next week? What does reflector need to know? You also got job loss or decrease. What does reflectors need to know? Internship. Some of you will be doing some type of internship. Dark eyes and light eyes. Interview. So it looks like career is going to be significant for you as well, like some of the main themes that are coming up for reflectors. Change. Let me get one more card. You have There's Someone Better. I can't remember, because I feel like when I just did my recent human design messages, like the other day, I feel like y'all got that card. I can't remember exactly what you guys got, but I think that you guys are in this process of trying to let go of somebody, or trying to figure out if there is someone better. Can we clarify there's someone better? Maybe get some context about that. Maybe you're thinking about going back to somebody who made you feel very safe, or not made you feel safe, but like maybe you hold on to for comfort. Okay. Yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth going back to the past. Reflectors, okay? It's not worth it. You have past or past life, and then you have it's not worth it. Some of you are thinking about going back to your old life. Maybe there was an energy that you got a lot of validation and recognition from, that you're thinking, is it worth going back to it? Because I haven't found that yet in my new environment or my new life, my new lifestyle that I have. But you really want to do some more reflecting, okay? If you're in the middle of a lunar cycle, like let's say you really pay attention to, before you make a decision, like you're in your lunar cycle, let's say you still have like 15 days left, like 2 weeks left, because you're supposed to wait at least 28 or 29 days before you move forward or make a decision. Let's say you're waiting on that lunar cycle to complete, and you're in the middle of it, and you're like, I want to make this change now. You should always give yourself more time, okay? Give yourself more time. Try to wait out the entire cycle for decisions that are not urgent, for things that you don't need to do right then and there, that you can give some more time. Because you may find by the end of that cycle, by the time you wait it out, that you're glad that you did not actually go back to it, or you're glad that you did not make a decision because you just needed some more time for those energies to balance out and you to gain a full clarity, similar to having emotional authority. It's like having an emotional authority for reflectors, except you guys have a fixed time frame for when you should ride out your wave. Us, who have emotional authority, we don't have a fixed time. We don't have a designated time how long we're supposed to wait, how much time we'll need. But you guys kind of do. So that's the only difference. But it's still like waiting it out is always the best option to see how you feel after a full cycle. There's someone better. There's someone better, and there is temptation to go back to what is familiar for you reflectors. But it's like one of those things where the chapter is closed and you are in the middle of a change, or you know that you need to change where you are, who you're with. It's just a matter of accepting that and not just going back to it because like you're uncomfortable with the change, or there's been a decrease, or there's a job loss of some kind, decrease in what you've been getting. So just try to hold off a little bit longer. If you are tempted to go back to something that was maybe still not what you wanted, but it provided you a sense of comfort or safety somehow, ask yourself if that's worth it, because you look to have, if it's a job, you look like you're having other things coming your way, another internship, an interview for something else. And this is a time where you should just kind of get your rest and just meditate, reflect, focus, and wait it out and see how you feel. If you still want to go back to a situation after you've waited your 29-day cycle, then go back if you think it's worth it. Spirit is saying it's not worth it to backtrack at this point. But, of course, it is what you always see best fit for your life. Now, let's talk generators. Generators and manifesting generators. If you're a manifesting generator, you can watch both generator and manifesting generator. Yes, that's what I mean. You can watch both. You can watch for manifestors too if you would like. So G and MG, let's see what's coming up for G and MG this weekend going into next week. What is the main themes for G and MG? Recognitions coming out for everyone. G and MG, what is the main themes for test or lesson? Generators, you got that in the last video I did on Monday. There's a test. You're still in the midst of a test. You have new love. New love is heading your way. Maybe you'll be tested with an old love. Letters and name. What else do we have for generators? Hold on. What else do we have for generators and manifesting generators? What is the test? What is this test that is coming out over the weekend into next week that they're still faced with? What is the test? What is the test? Test. The test of possibly something with your stability. Anything else? All right. So I feel like it depends on whatever it is you're looking for. Okay. If you're a manifesting generator or a generator and you are looking for new love, there might be a test to see if you're really ready for that love. I don't know how exactly that'll show up for you. You have affair or third party, unbalanced or unrequited. I think a test shows up in like a situation where you could end up settling. Okay, and you could end up settling in love. You'd settle for like a third party. You settle for something that's unrequited or unbalanced. But you said you want the new love. You said you want something stable. So why are you settling for what you don't really want? The test is coming to see if you're ready to like cut off what isn't what you actually want and get ready for what you really do want. So there's a test. Maybe either you're gonna be tempted to go back to something that you don't really want, or there's an option presented in front of you, and generators should always have multiple options for things. You shouldn't always just jump to go with the first option. So be careful of this test of where it seems like something could be good for you, but like just make sure you weigh out the options you have, or the pros and cons, to make sure it's really stable, is what you really want, and it doesn't come with any catch or any funny business, you know. So we can always say that we want things, but then like we're tested to see if we will stick to that. So there could also be something that comes up with a test of if you are ready to go on your journey as an entrepreneur, right? We are faced with setbacks when it comes down to our hopes and our dreams and our wishes and our passions. Like, I've had tests happen with me before I became a tarot reader, where people were like, are you sure you want to do that? I don't think that's good for you. I don't think that's right for you. Test. That's a test. Because there's going to be a lot of people telling me that. But if I know myself enough and I know what I want to do, that should not stop me. And it almost did, briefly. I don't think it would have ever stopped me, because I just do what I want. But it did slow me down at first. But there is going to be a test to see if you are ready to step in a role that you've been saying you want to be in. People will try to stop you. People will try to tell you, no, that's not really for you. What are you doing with your life? You sure? XYZ. There's going to be a test. Continue to push through that test and fight for what you want. Letters in name O, Q, U, X, or Z. Letters in name B, T, M, or G. Any of these could be letters in your name or letters in somebody else's name that could come through to test you. Could be a test in saying no, setting a boundary, crying or release. Some of you need to release the energy of the test. Like, maybe the test is something that hurts your feelings or it brings you sadness, and that's okay. Work through the feelings, let the feelings ride out, and that'll be the end of that. And you keep going. Anything else? I want to just pull from this deck and see. You have transformative ending. 999. You have there's something better. Well, there you go. You have 999 and then you have 111. So there is going to be a test where you may lose something or you may end something because you know that's not really what you want. Like, you have a vision or you have your mindset on something, and you know, like, you're not going to settle for whatever this little test is or the breadcrumbs type of situation. And there is something better where you're like, this seems like it could be good, but I know I can have great. And as a generator, you should always strive for great. You should always strive for the hell yeah situation, instead of like, yeah, this is okay. This is good. So there's something better. Okay. So the test is coming to see if you will settle into just good enough, or if you will wait for, this is what I really want. All right. In love or career. Now, last but not least, we have projectors. Let's go for projectors. What we have for projectors for the weekend into next week. What's the energy for projectors? What is the main themes that they will focus on? Family or family issues. Ancestor altar. Some of you are kind of meant to be like a healer in your family, and your ancestors want to help you do so if you have a designated place to connect with them. You have soulmate. You have self-love. Self-love is very important for projectors. Anything else for projectors over the weekend? Temptation. What is projectors tempted about? Just like reflectors. What is projectors tempted about? You also have not worth it. It's not worth the temptation, whatever it is. You might be tempted to go towards a certain person or somebody that extends an invite to you. But before you do so, give yourself that self-love to make sure you're not just yearning for some type of recognition that you can give yourself in the situation, or in friendships. Anything else for temptation? Let me clarify temptation with this deck, actually. What does temptation mean for projectors? Strategy is needed before action is taken. Strategy. The invitation. There's something better. Relocation. So, let me see. for you projectors, you have stopped looking for love in the trash. Very kind of similar messages between some of the types, like a little bit similar to reflector, also generators for you. But projectors, you need to also stop settling in your relationships or in your friendships for things that you don't really want. Strategy is needed before action is taken. Follow your strategy. Okay, when you're looking to either relocate, or you're looking to become friends with somebody or move into somebody's space, an invitation is needed because it helps you to know what people are really going to be good for you and what are not. That is the luxury of getting an invite. You're not having to go out here and just guess with people, like, I'm going to just go into people's space and see if they like me. No, you'll know if people like you or not because they come to you, they say, they recognize you, they say, I really like how you do this, you're a great friend, you're a great this, and then invite you. Do you want to hang out? Do you want to do this? Whatever. And those are invitations that you can explore. But a lot of you are tempted to, look for the same types of people, the same types of friendships, people that you've tried to initiate relationships with, or you tried to intrude on their space and they just rejected you, and you still kind of try to look for those types of people. But it's best to like really let people come to you as far as like the types of relationships you're looking for. Once you like kind of put it out there, like, this is what I want, this is what I'm looking for in my friendships, in my relationships, whatever, and finding people that want those same things with you. Sorry, y'all, ran out of storage again. But anywho, like I was saying, projectors, you can't keep expecting to find the relationships that you're looking for without being clear on the kind of relationships you want to have. You have to know what you want. You have to know what it is you're looking for, and then find invitations that align with what you're looking for, and not wait till you get in something and then be like, this is what I'm looking for with somebody, or say, I want what you want. No. Projectors saying I want what you want, or I'm going with the flow, whatever you want to do. That's not you being authentic with saying, this is how I like to be seen. This is the kind of relationship I want with you. Those things need to be made very clear. So family issues may come up where you feel like your family's not seeing you the way you want them to see you. Your friendships are not seeing the way, not being seen the way you want to be seen. And so it's important to see if those relationships are ones that you even entered into correctly at all, with a proper invite, a proper recognition, and if it aligned with you and what you wanted. So you may be tempted to like do something to feel seen or heard. But before you do that, give yourself that self-love. Ask yourself, what is it that I need right now? What is it that I can give myself right now? What is it that I don't tell people that I need from them? And I get resentful because they don't know that I need that. I'm expecting them to know what I need at all times. And that's not realistic. Okay? Some of you are going to be dealing with a soulmate that can give you what you need. But you have to also articulate that. It's a two-way street. You have to tell people what you need and want, and then it's up to them to like be able to reciprocate and give that to you if they can. If they can't, then you reconsider the whole thing. But if they can, then stick with it. But it's a lot of reassessing about relationships this weekend, projectors, and how you feel seen about them. You have to, one, ask yourself, have you actually vocalized and articulated the ways that you like to be seen and validated and recognized in the relationship? Have you let them know, does it align with how they see you? If you're seeing somebody as a romantic interest and they're seeing you as a friend, well, that's something, a problem, right? Or if you're seeing somebody as a friend and they're seeing you as more, that's a problem. So you want to make sure that it's aligned. The way you want to be seen romantically, friendship, work, aligns with the way somebody else sees you, and vice versa. And that'll help you to figure out like if invitation is really aligned with you right now, or not, or if you can get it into alignment. Okay, but you have to let people know. So thank you, projectors, reflectors, manifestors, generators, MGs. I appreciate you watching. If this reading resonated for you, please let me know down in the comments down below. Like, comment, share, subscribe so the channel can thrive. I am at Tarot by Bronx on everything.